great conversations continue now on The Maggie Linton Show.
Well, welcome back. Tomorrow, novelist Marie-Helene Bertino, and also kids can ace the SAT with student Ada Throckmorton. She's going to tell you how to do that. But we begin right now with a different take on how to become a successful person. Gene W. Kelly is a successful businessman, plus founder and CEO of Advanced Technical Training Institute. His book is The College Myth, Why You Shouldn't Go to College If You Want to Be Successful. He also owns a Napa Valley winery. Welcome, Gene.
Well, hi there, Maggie.
I was telling people, I said, I have Gene Kelly on, but not the dancer.
Well, when it rains, I get happy feet. We could sure use some rain out here, Sprout and all.
Yes, definitely you could. Your book, I thought it was so on time. There was an article that was in the Washington Post last week talking about the need for technical people, and you don't have to go to college. And I'm going, did they read Gene's book? Because there are so many people out there who want to get into the technical field, and going through the 4 years of college is not necessarily the best way to find out how to do it, is it?
No, ma'am. I myself went through a technical school, and I leveraged that into eventually, being kind of the millionaire next door they write about. A person who's created multiple businesses, created wealth, been able to help my community. And the trades are just one path. College is just one path. The problem is college is being pushed as the only path. And what they're not fully revealing, and this is why I call it the college myth, is they're not revealing all the other baggage that goes along with that. That most people are incurring a great deal of debt to go to college. And just like the housing collapse, the reason the bubble happened in the housing market was that loans were cheap and easy. And right now, in the college market, loans are easy. I don't know about cheap. And what that has done is driven up the price of college to where a private college is costing as much as $250,000. And students are walking away with debt all over the place, and that debt follows them sometimes for almost the rest of their life. We're seeing people delaying getting married, delayed having kids, delayed buying houses, just because they're burdened with this debt. And it's not leading them to the one thing that they thought they were getting out of the deal, and that's a job. Mm-hmm. And so what I'm saying is college is a wonderful thing for expanding your mind, and I'm all in favor of higher education. I believe in lifetime learning. But that's not necessarily the ticket to a job that's going to get you employed. And right now in this country, our infrastructure is crumbling. We need people. There are hundreds of thousands of unfulfilled trade skill jobs available. And there's even this exciting re-onboarding of manufacturing in the United States. So the opportunity is there, and I just want people to honestly know that there is an opportunity for them, even if they don't have a lot of money, to get trained in job skills that will keep them employed for the rest of their lives.
And way too often, people, even in looking toward the technical fields, still think that they are supposed to go through that college education because the colleges are touting themselves as the place to go to do that. But talk about the many different ways for them to get into other fields, whether it's community college or going direct to the manufacturing and technical schools.
Okay, great. There again, exactly as Maggie said, there's not just one path. And that's part of the reason I wrote the book, The College Myth, because and by the way, Maggie, we're giving away free copies of that at our website, thecollegemyth.com, just for your listeners. But anyway, there's multiple paths to success, and a lot of how you achieve success is how you're driven internally, and that again, I give some of that information in the book. But there are multiple paths. So as you indicated, community colleges. I'm a big supporter of community colleges. I think they offer a lot of bang for the buck. There are apprenticeship programs that people can go in where they'll learn one trade. There are some dedicated technical colleges where you will learn a trade. There's programs like our program, the Accelerated Technical Training Institute, where we teach multiple trades, and we actually teach it using video and online instruction to teach an individual multiple trades. So when you look at a problem, you can see it from many different angles, and it's allowed me personally, those set of skills, to go and start a manufacturing business, work for other people, travel around the world, and eventually even I apply those skills in owning our vineyard and winery. So, and frankly, one of our things that we say is we're providing real skills for life. And even if a person doesn't stay working in a specific trade, having those skills is so empowering. You just don't feel helpless when you need to rewire something in your house or fix your plumbing. So many people these days have been put into the mindset that they're going to live in a cubicle their whole life.
Yeah, brainwashed.
Right, and they're going to be a knowledge worker, which was wonderful until this little thing came along called the Internet, and now you're competing with people around the world, literally billions of them, that will speak multiple languages, have degrees, and are willing to work for $5, $6, $7 an hour. Who wants to compete with that? So these skills are going to be needed here in the United States. They cannot export these. Your plumbing's not going to be done in India anytime soon.
Yeah, very true. Once again, we're talking with Gene Kelly. He's a businessman and founder and CEO of Advanced Technical Training Institute. Again, his book is The College Myth, Why You Shouldn't Go to College If You Want to Be Successful. Go ahead, Gene.
Okay. Well, Maggie, thank you for this opportunity to just talk to your listeners, because this is a message I'm trying to get out to the people and let them understand that they have choices, because many people are discouraged. They don't have the money to go to college, and they think that all they can do is get a job where they're going to wear a paper hat all day and say, hey, do you need, room for cream? Okay? These are, and that unfortunately is where a lot of the people that are graduating from college, they're coming to us because they've graduated from college, they have this debt, they spent 4 years, and they thought, I now have my degree, I have a ticket to the world, and there's no jobs for them. They don't really know how to do anything. One of the things I reveal in the book is there's really only 3 things an employer wants to know. As an employer, I can tell you this. They want to know from you, the potential employee, what do you know? What are your mind skills? What have you done? Hugely important. And what can you do for me? Boiled down, that's really it. Well, people who go to college might have a lot of head knowledge for some of what do they know, but do they have any applicable knowledge? And then when you ask them, what have you done, it's like, well, nothing. And so what can you do for me is pretty much a zero, and I'm going to have to go to next. So college is no guarantee of a job. There are hundreds of thousands of trade jobs available now. So what I recommend people do, learn trade skills, empower yourself, be able to have the opportunity to go multiple directions in life and not be a victim when you want something fixed or repaired, and then look at your continuing education and decide where you're going to take that. Do you want to be a shop foreman? Do you want to be a manager? Do you want to own a business? What is it you would like to do? But first, get some skills that you can really use without incurring debt. And to give you a further financial example, colleges, and they say the average right now is about $60,000 in debt students go out of school with, but that's growing rapidly because the prices keep going up. So private college, I know one right here in the state that's near the top, but that's $250,000 for 4 years. On the other hand, getting a trades education like our program costs $10,000. Look, and one provides you the ability to go right to work, and the other one, you better start hunting for work.
Yeah, very true. Listen, we've got a call from James in Georgia. Good morning, James. Thank you for calling.
Yes. My name is James.
Uh-huh.
And I was, like when I came through school, it didn't have a technical college. A community college was a vocational school. And that's what I done with the vocational school, and I ended up in an apprenticeship as a steam fitter. And right now I retired from there, and I do HVAC work. Got my own business in Georgia. I came out of Wisconsin. I like what he's talking about, technical. You can be smart book-wise, but you don't know how to do nothing.
Very true.
Yeah, James, you're right on. And you know what? Right now, I have friends that are in their 80s that are being called back to work because they do some particular trades skills, tool and die makers, very high-end pipe welders and so on, and they can't find people to do this work. We're actually even importing some welders just to fill jobs.
See, I'm a certified welder also, state certified welder. I do all kind of steam pipe. I can do any of that stuff, and I just turned 70 last week, and I still got my own business doing HVAC work.
Right on, James.
That's fantastic.
Way to go.
Yeah, you'll never be out of business.
That is a fact.
Yeah. Listen, we've got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we've got some more callers online. We'll be right back with Eric when we return, so stay tuned.
We'll be right back with more conversation about today's hottest topics right after this short break. This is the Maggie Linton Show on Sirius XM Urban View. Talking about everyday life, a woman that relates to you. Welcome back to the Maggie Linton Show on Sirius XM Urban View.
Well, we continue with businessman Gene Kelly, founder and CEO of Advanced Technical Training Institute, author of The College Myth, Why You Shouldn't Go to College If You Want to Be Successful, and also the owner of a Napa Valley winery. We have the Eric from California. Here you go, from California. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm really good. Really good.
Go ahead and ask your question, sir.
Well, I don't know if I really have a question, but that's more of a comment. And
Okay.
If I'm overstepping, I just tuned in. He may have already addressed this, but I guess the gentleman is saying that people should not go to college and go to trade school because they're going to incur debt in college. Well, I don't know of too many trade schools that's going to let you go there for free, use their materials, use their books, use their program, use their buildings, and you not incur some kind of debt. I would rather, granted, at the end of the course, you may know how to weld, you may know how to do this, and you may have the opportunity to have your own business. But if you go into college with the same thought process that I want to own something, then you take the necessary courses to do so, well, then you're more likely than not going to be successful as well. But what I didn't want your listeners or viewers to hear is that don't go to college because you're going to incur debt. Go to trade school and you want to incur debt. That is not true. My younger brother is in a trade program, and I'm helping him financially, paying for it.
Well, he did say that it still does cost. Gene, I'm going to let you take this one.
Yeah, let me address several things. Hey, Eric, I appreciate the fact you're a thinker, and that's a good thing. Number one, and I have this in my book, The College Myth, it's what you do internally that's going to make you successful in life, okay? It's a lot of how you think, and that's part of what you said, and I agree with that. Trade schools versus colleges, it's the amount of debt, number one, in a formula in relationship to the job you're going to get or the ability to get a job. Right now, trade schools, you can go to a community college for a couple $1,000s. I mean, literally a couple $1,000s versus $60, $80, couple $100,000 for private college education. You can go to a trade school from anywhere from on our programs that are run around $10,000 up to, you can probably spend $50, $60, $70,000 with a trade school. It depends. Some people go into those incurring debt. I don't recommend that. I recommend that you find the ability to gather the resources, and that's why we offer a program that's so inexpensive that a lot of families can gather the resources to get their student in and through it quickly. The other thing we didn't talk about was time. Our program you can complete in as little as 3 to 6 months, having the knowledge of multiple skills and get that entry-level job to get your life started. Another thing I want to emphasize is I am not against higher education. I said that earlier. I believe in lifelong learning. I study business books. I read business books every week. I study programs. I am a continual lifelong learner. I love to travel. I've traveled all around the world. It's important to continually bring in information and not just say, I'm done. That world doesn't exist anymore. You need continuous education. But the promise of most colleges, kind of unspoken, but there, is, hey, you go through our program, you're going to get a great job. Right now, there's a lot of people with 4-year degrees that are working at minimum wage jobs and happy to get them because they don't have any real applicable skills. On the other hand, if you reverse the formula, get the applicable skills, get the job, get better and better wages as you move up, continue your education, then you can go in any direction you want. So that's my philosophy, and that's what worked for me. And, my net worth kind of speaks for itself on that part of it. However, so that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Well, I agree that it works. I agree that it works for you, but this is the urban view, and most of our viewers come from economically challenged environments, and so they don't have the resources to go to these schools. Now, I challenge you.
But sir, you can get scholarships and things like that to also go to technical schools.
Yes.
Because one of my best friend's sons is going to school that way.
I didn't have any money.
All I want is that for all the information to be put out there, because I come from the projects in San Francisco, the worst ones in the city, and I got a scholarship to go to college, and I went to Tulane University, and I'm doing very well for myself, and I can weld. So that's my point.
Yep.
I don't want these kids to listen to this show and go, hey, I can be a welder, when I don't want them to limit themselves, because I could do the opposite. I could go to college and on the weekends take that course that you're talking about and make money on the side.
You know what? Nothing wrong with that either, Eric.
Yep. Very
Nothing
true.
wrong with that either. I'm not against that. Listen, Eric, go to my website, thecollegemyth.com, download a free copy of the book, read it. You're going to get some good ideas out of stuff to share with your brother. I am not against education. I am against the mistruth or half-truth that if you go to a college, incur $100,000 or $200,000 in debt, that you're going to go out and get a good job. That is not the case for the vast majority of people right now. You can go get a good job. So with these other skills,
okay.
And
I too agree with you.
Okay. Well, listen, I've got a couple of other people. Go ahead. I'll let you talk, Gene. But I've got a couple of other people I'd like to try and get to before the top of the hour. Go ahead.
Thanks for taking.
Thanks, Eric. Hey, one thing I want to make a point on.
Go ahead.
One thing I want to make a point on is I did not have money when I went to school, when I went to trade school. I worked on a farm. I worked on the weekends and the evenings. I spent long days in the shop to get through that program as fast as possible. And part of that drive is what makes you successful. Mm-hmm. Do not be looking for a handout in life. Be looking for a way to grab yourself and by the short hairs and pull yourself up, because that's what makes you successful in life. What you decide to do, not what you're looking for somebody else to do to you.
Right.
For you. Okay, go ahead.
We've got a call from Nasir in Louisiana. Good morning, Nasir.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, and you?
Fine. Agrees to you and your staff and your guests.
Thank you.
Okay, now the thing is, I did go to college and I did incur those debts. But however, it's rough just trying to get a job. But I'm quite sure I'm not the only one in that same boat.
Mm-hmm.
And I love what your guest is presenting today, because, I mean, let us know we have options. Like I said, just so happy, I was running a taxi cab and I converted it into medical transportation, so I'm doing pretty good now. But, however, I wish I had never gone to college and just took a trade.
Well, it's not too late. It's not too late, okay?
You're absolutely right.
All right. Gene, you want to comment on that, or do you want me to go to the next guest?
Why don't we go to the next one?
Okay. Marie from Georgia. Good morning, Marie.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling.
Okay, I have 2 points to make.
Mm-hmm.
One is that our country is one of the few countries that charges their young people to go to college. And And there are many foreign countries that will educate our children free if they are accepted into their schools. And this is particularly good for any student who is interested, say in French or German or something of that nature. If they know, they can go to those countries and go to one of those schools and get free education. The second point is the second reason for going to college, and a parent really has to examine that with their child. And I had this problem with a nephew of mine, that he's a high-functioning person. So he needed to be in the networking environment with people who were functioning on his high level. And so he did try to just work because he was able to get a job with good remuneration, but he was missing that camaraderie and that networking that you get when you go into a college setting. And so until he did that, he was frustrated. So I think we have to look at both of those. Those are things to think about. That is not just about education, a job. Sometimes you need to be around people who function like you function.
Very true.
I absolutely agree with that. In fact, I've been a part of various what we call mastermind groups for businesses, and they're different business people or different people. I'm in the Rotary Club. Rotary is a wonderful thing for that type of business people working together to help the community. So no doubt about it. Again, I'm talking about for the vast majority of people, when they need a job, they need to get started in life and not delay their life by incurring debt that they're going to go on for years paying for, lose 4 years of their life. College is an expensive place for someone to go just as a rite of passage to grow up. There's lots of other alternatives, including military, various trade schools, community service, Peace Corps, all kinds of other things people can do to get life skills. And again, our motto is providing real skills for life, because once you have these skills, you use them throughout your life. I no longer am involved with doing a lot of hands-on trade work, but my knowledge of how things work, understanding systems, allows me to apply that to various business aspects, and even, again, involved with the farming here of the vineyard and the winemaking. I don't do that particular work, but I understand what needs to be done. And a lot of that evolved from the trades and learning that systemized thought. Again, I think college can be a good thing, but also I believe in higher education at all levels, but you need to start somewhere. And the message, the part that's not taught properly, not a full truth, is they're telling you, come, spend this money, sign here on the dotted line, take on this debt, and you're going to end up with a job in 4 years.
Yeah.
Great paying job. Well, that's not necessarily true. In fact, it's not true for most people right now.
Yeah. Jean, I have to tell you, there's another part in the book. And again, folks, this book is offered for free at the website, thecollegemyth.com. And you talk about time management, personal responsibility, communication, problem solving, the ability to sell, and entrepreneurial vision. We don't have the time to talk about those, but you talk about them in the book. So it's highly recommended. If you've got a young person, or if you're the person out there without a job, then The College Myth, Why You Shouldn't Go to College If You Want to Be Successful, is definitely something to go to Jean's website and download. Thank you. I got less than a minute to go. And again, it is Jean W. Kelly, founder and CEO of Advanced Technical Training Institute. You can go to his website, thecollegemyth.com, to download the book. And it is The College Myth. Thank you, Jean.
Thank you, Maggie.
All right.